Hello and welcome to the Live in Divine Harmony podcast. Thank you all so much for joining this week. I'm Karmen, your divine synergist of Heart's Joy. I'm an awakened person of purpose, a spiritual life coach. I have a passion for life. I'm an author, a podcast host, a numerologist. I'm certified in theta healing. And every week we have a discussion. And this week's discussion on the podcast is things falling apart, maybe falling into place. And this week is going to flow a little bit differently. So, for those of you who are joining live or even replayers, please feel free to share in the comments questions you may have. And any experiences as well as I share what I'm going to talk about tonight. It'll make sense as I start talking. Be sure to share, like, follow, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. So, I want to talk about the elephant in the room, if you will. Hearing people talk, seeing comments on social media, having some of these conversations with other people. The feeling of the majority of people is frustration, confusion, anxiety because we don't know what's going to happen. I read both sides politically. So I see what both the left and the right are saying. I can read in between the lines and see the marketing really that's happening, the rhetoric that's happening. And a lot of people have said they're just flat out afraid. Even if they've left their job or they've lost their job, it could be they left their job at their own will. There's still this fear, underlying fear of the unknown, whether it's the economy, the health situation. There's a lot of health things popping up all of the sudden. And I put that in quotes because, a lot of us have our own theory about why. And so I want to talk about it. I want to just talk about that elephant in the room. And first, I want to say that I don't care what you see on social media, we are all going through it. Even if you don't quite understand everything that's happening, which to some extent, we don't know everything that's happening. We can't see everything that's happening. We can see what's happening in front of us, whether we watch the news, don't watch the news, get our news from elsewhere. Whatever is in our outer sphere is our reality. And so, and part of what we created as well. So I want you to know, first off, that you're not alone. And you hear me talk a lot about the astrology piece and probably wonder why do I care? Because this is impacting us. The energies of what's happening in what I call the others, with the energy of what's happening with the planets and the moon and the sun, all of that is impacting us. Whether you saw the eclipse or not, whether you ever see it, whether you ever see a full moon or a new moon, it is truly impacting us. Whether you believe it or not, it's impacting us. Whether you believe God exists or not, God impacts us. That energy of God lives within each one of us. It's a matter of, are you tapped in or not? So I say this because we are somewhat still in eclipse season. We still are in the post shadow period, the integration period. Those energies will last for 6 months. And I recently shared a video on social media to say, yeah, it feels like somebody came into your house and literally flipped tables, which, by the way, which is what Jesus did. So it may feel like things are completely topsy-turvy, and it's going to continue to feel that way. Now, I full disclosure, I am not an astrologer, and I will share with you that the astrologers that I do follow have said it's going to ease up in 2023, starting in March, right? So we've got this energy through sometime in March, and then things ease up. 2024, though, and 2025, we're going to hit hard again. And so that's why I have continued to harp on a few points, if you will, which is healing in the relationship with yourself. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. I want to wrap up this thought and idea, this conversation with the eclipses, because we are being shifted both on a individual personal scale level and on a mass scale level. We are being shifted to where we're supposed to be. So since 2020, as things were crumbling down, we're simultaneously now creating the new. And it's going to be frustrating because as you create anything new, there's always bumps and hiccups. And it's our time to show each other grace, including ourselves. We're going to make mistakes. We've made a lot of mistakes collectively, individually and collectively, which is what we're experiencing right now. So I just want you to know, first off, that you are not alone. Even though you may not understand how these astrological alignments are impacting you, they are impacting you. Now, you get to choose whether you get angry because of it and look at it as you're the victim, or you can say, you know what, I'm really going to start to work with these energies to my benefit. And that's where I enter in and can help you walk through that process. The second piece, what I mentioned earlier about the healing portion, everybody starts along their healing journey in a different way. It's not pretty. It's not what you see on social media. Social media has totally distorted our reality. It's totally distorted our reality. I think a lot of us can agree on that. So anything that you see on social media, just know that's just a fraction of that reality, which is why, frankly, I've started to post behind the scenes and bloopers so that you can see that, yeah, I messed up too. I've been shifting the content a little bit so that you can see the reality of also what it's like for me as the entrepreneur. And that's partly why I wanted to go live tonight. I purposefully did no marketing. I did not post this maybe 45 minutes ahead of time, something like that, just because of how the software works that I use to go live on all these different platforms. Because I want you to see that I'm human too. So keep that in mind as we are so deeply tied and tied to our cell phones, right? Scrolling, looking for hope, because a lot of us are doing that. A lot of people are doing that. Everybody's doing that right now. We're looking for the light at the end of the tunnel of when is this going to be over? It's going to be a little bit. My intention for having this conversation is that you not only realize that you aren't alone. If you don't already have a community, go either create it, which is what I've done here. On the podcast, I have a free online community anybody can join. Somehow get connected with a community that resonates for you. It's okay if it shifts and changes as you grow, because it's going to. As you go along your healing journey and as you heal and shift, the people who you attract vibrationally are going to be different, and that's okay. Right now, community is extremely important. Somebody to lean upon, somebody to even just call and say, I just need a vent right now. The other thing that I want to mention on here is if you start to see anything that's fear-based, turn it off. I mean, media is classic for anything fear-based. If you are following people on social media, most platforms have something where you can hide it. You can unfollow something or like snooze for 30 days. I think Facebook has something to protect your peace, your energy for that particular time. Because everything is energy and there are energy ties to each other as well. And it can really do some damage on our mind when we start to see certain things, especially fear, anything fear based. I strongly encourage you to just shut her down. Or if you start to see something to compare yourself with other people, their businesses, yourself, your body, whatever it is, shut her down. The idea, the intention for doing that is that you continue to focus on and shift your vibration level as you're doing the healing process. It doesn't help to have the fear drag you back down, pull you back in. The other thing that I want to share, by the way, I normally have notes, no notes. This is just, this is totally from the heart, off the cuff. I want you to know that you chose this time, this family, this place to come on earth for a reason. And you were created for a purpose, for a specific purpose to play out on this earth. So, for some reason, you start to feel like you're less than, unworthy, unsure. Please reach out to me, reach out to a good friend, and allow us to help you with that because this can really start to get heavy. It's gonna start to get heavy here in about a year and a half. And so, know when you truly understand and know your why and your purpose and you're focused on that, nothing can stop you except yourself. And a lot of people have been searching, they've been wanting something different. They know it. They know that there's something different out there, yet they aren't sure what it is. Let's talk. I can help you understand why you're here, what your purpose is, and just really tune in and tap into that and get you shifted out of this place of fear and scarcity and what am I going to do and why is this happening and help you to shift out of that mindset. Now of all times, it is crucial that we do this. And remember, you're not alone. You were born on purpose for a purpose. And we're all going to get through this together. We just are. I believe it's all made by design. And that's all I'm going to say. It was all made by design. So, if you have any questions, have any thoughts you'd like to share, please share them in the comments. Even if you're listening to the podcast, feel free to come back to the YouTube channel and share. I would absolutely love to hear from you and help you during this time. Know that everything is truly happening for your highest and best good, even though it doesn't feel like it. And when you look back over history, it's not been easy. Nobody said it was going to be easy. And it gets to happen. It's time. Think of how how you feel if you haven't already looked at it this way yet. You are helping to simultaneously create something new. That's how powerful you are. Until next week, be sure to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Sending you much love. I'll see you soon.